I was looking back through book 6 to look. I don't know if you saw my little ramblings on it, but she was the one who was Axe should morph Jake.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably mentioned it at the time, but she is ready to morph another person. She has way fewer qualms about morphing humans than she does about morphing dolphins.
True. She's the one person she trusts to do it ethically. But all I can say is when I turned the page and it was what's going to happen? And then it said chapter 22 Jake. I was like, oh, she morphed Jake. Obviously.
Well, she's such a sponge for other people that, I think her argument is that she's always kind of half morphed into her friends.
That's true. When you're an empath, you're kind of always sort of morphing other people. You know what I mean? That's just sort of what it is.
Is that what people mean when they say they're between friends?
Yes. Yeah.
In 1996, Scholastic began publishing Animorphs. Over the next 6 years, Catherine Applegate and her husband, Michael Grant, under the pseudonym K.A. Applegate, produced 54 main series books, several spin-offs, and inspired a TV series, graphic novels, and a cult following. We can't tell you where we live. We can't even tell you our last names. But we can tell you our thoughts and feelings on this series, book by book. I'm Miranda.
I'm Eddie.
And I'm Chris.
And we are the Anidorks.
These may be kids' books, but we discuss dark themes and mature content. There may also be some explicit language. Listener discretion is advised.
But so Cassie morphed a caterpillar and was ready to resign herself to caterpillar life, which I think is kind of like van life, from what I understand.
Hashtag van life, absolutely. Yeah.
Do you think that Cassie thought maybe Jake, but secretly Axe, was actually the highest form of Jake for her? Do you think that?
You think she preferred Axe as Jake to Jake?
Do you think that Axe, but in a Jake wrapper? Maybe that's what I mean. Yeah?
I don't think so. I think she likes Jake.
Dude, we'll workshop this premise and joke format, but that's wild. That's a wild.
I feel like there's a way.
My body is causing me to pause.
I feel like there's an importance of being earnest thing we could do here, right? He's only Jake when he's in the city type of thing. You know what I'm saying? There's something we could do here.
I see what you mean.
Chris, but can I point out, you act like this is unprecedented in the series, but just last book that we read, Hork-Bajir Chronicles, Doc
you're right.
dated Aldrea, but in a Delph wrapper.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. But that was not ideal. That was just what happened.
Or
was it?
Dak an unreliable
the
narrator?
story, we would have never met Jirahime.
Is Dilf Dak I'd like to leave the rest as an exercise for the listener and
friendship.
move on.
I'd like to friendship.
To friendship.
I'd like to friendship.
Yeah. I'm now regretting having said that so hard. All right, let's.
Should I jump in?
Yeah. Chapter 22?
Read the summary. Yeah.
Chapter 22. Cassie has just morphed into a caterpillar with the intention of permanently staying in that morph, a.k.a. Okay, well, that's not what I meant. I just changed
That's not what AKA
also known as forever.
I just changed that on the fly. Cassie has just morphed into a caterpillar with the intention of permanently staying in that morph. I think I meant
caterpillar named forever.
I think I meant AKA beyond the 2-hour limit or something like that.
Okay.
The book shifts to Jake's perspective as promised by Cassie in the opening chapter. Jake is in his peregrine falcon morph, searching for Cassie. He catches the reader up that a formal search involving the police and park services has been organized to find Cassie. He and the other Animorphs have been using their various morphs to find her as well. Osprey Marco arrives to Jake with the news that A, he found Cassie, and B, she's become a controller. He explains the situation with Karen, how Cassie voluntarily became infested. Because that's how he left her. The gang tries to process Cassie's intention, her reasoning. They argue. Rachel asks Jake what they'll do when they find Cassie, and he answers that he isn't sure. The chapter ends with the gang spotting Cassie in her osprey form, knowing that she has spotted them as well.
This chapter kicks ass for a couple reasons. There's some literal ass kicking in that Rachel kicks Marco's ass for being like, well, Cassie's not really even an Animorph anymore, so should we even go looking for her? I don't think he meant it, but he did say it. And
I think he meant it. I think he wanted to save them some effort.
Yeah. So
maybe he's about efficiency. It's what Jake tells us.
He's the future Elon Musk.
So
that's what he wants to be. Yeah. He's like, look, Marco's my best friend, but I admire Rachel's directness, which I think means he wanted to kick his ass too, but was scared. I don't know. Just didn't want to be seen as a leader who beats his subordinates.
Yes. So does that mean that Rachel's going to be his disciplined person in the long run? Is he?
Probably. Yeah. She seems like she'd take to that well.
Yeah.
What are you guys talking? I leave the conversation for literally 2 minutes, and you're talking about.
I don't know. Eddie's going weird.
I just mean she's gonna dole out the punishment.
Yes, she'll have a writer's crop or something. like you're being weird, Eddie. Jesus.
I'm not being weird. That's part of it. Yeah.
You're also wearing the same shirt you wore last episode taping.
It's my comfy shirt.
It's your gay shirt.
It's my comfy shirt, too.
So we get some, insights on Jake's understandings of his friends here. Mostly Marco, but also Tobias.
Well, before we get to that, do you mind if I, just sequentially cut in a little bit differently?
No, go for it.
I want to hit, because before that, they're kind of, having an open discussion about what happened, and that's what leads to his itemization of what's going on for each person. And it's interesting because they're having the discussion and they're performing out their things. And there was a particular quote that I took here because Tobias comes to Cassie's aid, and I just thought that was cool as hell. Yeah. And also Jake's acknowledgement of it, which this just happens right before the thing you were about to talk about, Miranda. But there's always a choice, Tobias said. I can't get mad at someone not wanting to take a life. I can't get mad at someone for thinking life is sacred. I just can't. And then Jake goes on. It surprised me, him coming to Cassie's defense. Tobias lives as a pure predator. For him, killing is something he has to do for breakfast. And this just really, that's also true for some humans, though. Serial killers also kill breakfasts, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But
so we can agree that that's not specific to Tobias.
Oh, that's not
that
a cannibalism
that is his
joke. That's a killing ceral joke. I thought you
meant. Yeah. So, yes,
it played a lot better in print. You should see how...
So, but what he ends up saying about Tobias is that he feels like Tobias is holding on to human ideas and virtues. It matters to him. And he says he values pity and kindness because he lives in a world where there is no pity. He can't afford to pity the mouse he's about to eat for breakfast because he has to eat the mouse for breakfast. Mm-hmm. And it comes after they have a conversation where Marco's like, look, she's just being fucking stupid. She let a Yeerk in her head. And Axe is like, this is a weird thing for her to do. Why would she do it? And Rachel's like, yeah, she had, there has to have been a reason. And Jake agrees that, obviously there was a reason. And Marco's like, what fucking reason makes it doesn't matter if it makes sense. What reason is good enough for you that she did this? This was a fuck up. Do
you want to run through the list of Jake's read on everybody? Mm-hmm. Eddie, do you want to read that? I see it. I see you have it.
Yeah. So we get so Jake comments on, this is the classic Animorphs ethical argument that we get here. I love whenever we get an opportunity to kind of have everyone argue a different position on something. So we get Marco's anger, and he calls Cassie an idiot. And Jake says about Marco is one of those people who jumps right to the conclusion without a lot of wondering and guessing. You could say he's smart or efficient, or I guess you could just say he's ruthless. He's not mean or cruel. He just gets from point A to point Z faster than most people. About which I would say, I think some of the Animorphs might say Marco's cruel. I think Jake has a softer read on Marco because he's his best friend. But
I think he's saying that. He's like, you could say he's ruthless, and he's specifically saying he's not mean or cruel to subvert that expectation, even though that's might be what it looks like. he doesn't think that this is coming from a place of him being mean or cruel. This is just that he arrives at, we have to do the efficient thing to do, and he gets there faster than other people, and he doesn't spend a lot of time moralizing out loud about it, so it looks like he's just like down to fucking cut people off and kill or whatever, but he's just actually already done all the logistics in his head.
Yeah. I don't think we've seen him be cruel in front of our eyes. I've never seen him like torturing somebody or something like that.
The closest we get is the comment that he's apparently said that Cassie's not an Animorph anymore, so she's not their problem.
He was mad.
Yeah.
Yes. You're right, Eddie. I'm making excuses. Keep going.
No, but when you said early on in this book that you think so much of this book wouldn't have happened if they all just took a few days, like they hadn't.
Oh my God! Yeah. It's the only thing you learn as an adult. Everything else is just as scary as it ever was. But it's just
you
like,
learned that.
yeah. Just give it a couple days, and then if you're still mad, then nuke them. You know.
Yeah.
But Rachel still ends the whole thing very much on the side of, this is war, we have to do whatever it takes. And Jake gets a really good little quote about, you know, maybe we'll lose, maybe we'll win. He says, but if we win and someday it's all over, you'd better hope there's still plenty of Cassies in the world. You'd better hope that not everyone has decided it's okay to do whatever it takes to win.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a really important thing for Jake to put in perspective for Rachel, but also just for Jake to hold in perspective as the leader of the group. Because as much as he does have to make those difficult decisions sometimes, like, if they're not fighting for a world where people can be happy and peaceful and not want to kill each other, like, what are they fighting for?
Yeah. So, and now, in this moment at least, Cassie kind of represents the world that they're fighting for. About Rachel, Jake says, I understood Rachel's anger. She felt like she was being accused of being immoral compared with Cassie. That wasn't the best observation of his. I feel like we kind of got that from the beginning of the book too.
Yeah, but he's sympathizing.
Yeah. I understand Axe's near silence. This was a matter between humans, not his business. And then Tobias, I think we already hit on. Yeah, and I kind of get, you know what? I think Jake journals. I feel like that's what we get. Like, he has his thoughts arranged here. I also think he, maybe when he's off book duty, I know this isn't how the books are. They're being told from like a future point, but I kind of feel like Jake is like the one working on lines. Like, he's like, what am I going to say about Rachel next?
Yeah, how am I going to frame this?
Yeah.
He's definitely got CEO energy.
Yes.
In this.
What's the spin? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I really felt in this chapter how much I've grown to appreciate Jake. He's really.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a Cassie book, so I feel like they let Jake be a little more introspective, or not so much introspective as like, because he is thinking about other people, but he's like looking into them and what he sees in them in a way I feel like we don't always get in Jake books, and I appreciate it.
I feel like they lined it up to give him better resonance with Cassie.
Yeah.
In this, which was a nice touch.
I do, one last note I want to hit on this is just that this is not the first time this has happened, but we get that when they're looking for Cassie, Jake at least has kind of resigned himself. He's entertaining the possibility that what they're going to find is a body floating in the river because he can't otherwise see why Cassie wouldn't have returned. And I just thought that was very dark.
And imagine the flip from thinking she's already dead to finding out she's a controller.
Right.
Like, that's got to be nuts.
Worse than dead.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on to chapter 23 here, a chapter I'm calling Duck Hunt the Musical.
Excellent.
The Animorphs have located controller Cassie in her Osprey morph, but she is still far away. They've been in their bird morphs too long, and they must land and demorph. After a few minutes of resting, just enough time for Aftran to convince Cassie to permanently morph into a very hungry little caterpillar, they return to bird morph. When they take to the skies again, the gang encounters those armed human controllers that Aftran had sicked onto the Animorphs, lying that they were Andalite bandits. The controllers shoot at the kids. Tobias flies on to locate Cassie, while the other Animorphs stick around to deal with the controllers. Rachel gets shot in her tail, a dog laughs, and falls from the sky. Jake and Axe rescue her. Axe has to return to his Andalite form to whisk her unconscious eagle body out of the scene. The rest of the gang manages to escape.
I thought the dog only laughs if you miss.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Well, she's alive, ain't she?
Yeah, you didn't do a good enough job. I would say that they finally learned to shoot birds on sight, but Karen warned them. So like it's not even like they're demonstrating like improvement here. They're just it's a cute little scene, but it really is just them getting shot, saving Rachel, having her demorph, remorph, axe carrying her away, blah blah blah.
Yeah, it is. The physics of saving Rachel is a little dubious. Like Jake catches her at terminal velocity 5 feet above the ground.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, he's just hitting the ground. Like, that's one dead peregrine falcon.
I think we do get a moment where, a kind of cool moment where Axe starts to run with his Andalite legs before he's finished morphing into an Andalite. And that's just fun. That we're seeing a little bit more of that gray area between morphs. It's not always like a perfect transition. So
yeah, and that they're learning to utilize those moments, not just like they're learning to not just stand and morph.
It's called context switching, and it's an ADHD person's nightmare. There's also there is one actually funny thing where the human controller saw me helpless with Rachel. I guess this is before Axe ran away. And the human controller says, "Ha ha ha, I have you now. Ha ha ha." And Jake thinks to himself, what are you, the Joker?
Yeah.
And it's actually like, it's a fair point. Like
I'm the Joker, baby.
I'm the Joker.
Yeah, no, a couple of them get very silly little lines. Like there's one where it's like somebody runs into one of them and he goes, "Hey," in a very human-like voice. Hey.
Oh, man.
It's like one of those slapstick chapters.
The acting classes are not helping.
No.
Like, I just don't... We're going to have to work with these guys.
Yeah,
right?
It's going to be rough.
Shall we move on to chapter 24?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Having escaped the controllers, the gang regroups. Rachel wakes up and is able to demorph. Jake sends Marco off to help Tobias, giving him the order to stop Aftran from making contact with any other Yeerks at all costs. Whether Aftran is in a little girl or Cassie doesn't matter. Aftran cannot escape. Jake feels sick inside for having to make that call, even if he feels that it was the right call. Rachel remorphs into a bald eagle and the group takes off once more, finally reaching Yeerk-infested Karen. She is crying, staring at a leaf. Stupid kid. On the leaf is a caterpillar, forming a chrysalis. It's too late, Karen says. Jake says that he understands what happened immediately. She did it, Karen said. She gave her life. I watched her for almost 2 hours. I kept expecting her to change her mind, but she did it. She gave her life for this little human girl, and because she thought she could make peace with one enemy at least. The Animorphs yell at Cassie to demorph, but it's no use. Axe and Rachel want to destroy Aftran. Rachel demorphs to her human form. Karen says that Cassie gave her life to make peace, that they had a deal. She tries to flee, but she is still injured and falls. Stupid kid. Rachel morphs into her elephant form, but before she can reach Karen, the leopard returns, falling from a tree onto the Yeerk-infested little girl. Jake wonders if he should just let the leopard solve this problem once and for all, even if a little girl dies. Marco intervenes in his gorilla form, grabbing the leopard and tossing it deep into the trees. We just yeet the leopard. Like, the leopard is we just whip.
It's a real, looks like Team Rocket's blasting off again. Exit for the leopard, because that's actually, for some reason, this solves the problem that nothing else did.
Jesse!
Like, the leopard's gone at this point.
Yeah, they bought him enough time, I guess.
Yeah.
This is a weird moment with Karen as they, like, come across her, because I actually feel like, she's being sort of vulnerable here. She says that she actually also tried to stop her. She's like, at the end, I tried to call out to her and be like, I believe you, you can demorph, but I sort of forgot that, or maybe didn't know that she wouldn't be able to understand me. And so now she's like this. And I really feel like there's this moment where she's ready to be vulnerable with the humans, and then Axe shows up. And I feel like her whole vibe shifts. She's like, of course, the Andalite arrests, and she sneers. And it's like, before that, she was like, just sort of like puzzled and like seemed very genuine with Jake when he gets there, with Rachel when she gets there, and then
genuine with Jake, real with Rachel, mad at Marco.
But
I would love
aghast at Axe.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to read the little dossier that Aftran has received from Cassie's brain about like her rundown on each individual Animorph. Like, Jake,
Oh, yeah.
cutie. Marco, frustrating. Like, yeah, that would be fun.
There is also a very sort of cartoon moment where she literally like looks at them all in a line as they're demorphing and realizes that they're against her, and then she just turns and tries to run away. But she's like limping and trips.
This
And it's
kid falls so many times.
Which, mind you, like, it is amusing and kind of like humorous, but it's also like horrifying.
Yeah.
Like, she's walking around like 2 broken ankles, like blood everywhere. Like, this is like the most grisly.
It is.
book.
And while she does it, Axe is like, should I grab her? And Rachel's like, let her run. Let her feel what it's like to be helpless.
Yeah.
I'll deal with her soon enough.
The screwed up thing, I mean, it's a very screwed up thing, is that this is probably a kid who, without a Yeerk in her head, would probably is probably still at that age where she would just lift up her hands and ask for like uppies from a parent.
Yeah, she'd be like,
And
can you carry me
Aftran's
home?
like didn't even want this car. She was like, I wanted a different controller. Like, I wanted to infest someone with a bigger, better body. Instead, she's like trying to move this child form past its capacity, basically.
Yeah.
And the
It
child
is-
is just falling.
It is interesting. I mean, we've spent the whole book sort of learning that Aftran has felt helpless their entire existence since they were a slug, and then they were placed, and even when they were in a powerful body, they were scared and helpless. And so for Rachel to then be like, let her feel what it's like to be helpless, I'm like, we just spent this whole book examining.
That's like saying, let an elephant feel what it's like to be afraid of a mouse.
Yeah,
Like, that's
like,
just
a thing.
they
It's like she
already
just
know.
already feels that way. Like, why? But I get that Rachel doesn't know that, but it just feels so. It's already a cold line, but it feels so unbelievably cold coming off the back of knowing that Aftran really did make a peace deal with Cassie and really did open up to her and explain that she feels like helpless in the face of this conflict and doesn't know what to do. And Rachel's like, yeah, let her sweat it out before I fucking kill her.
Yeah.
Like, it's really brutal.
Is she talking about, at that moment, do you think Rachel is, like, she's not talking about starving this Yeerk? Like,
No.
I think she's
No.
prepared to kill a kid, right?
No, that's what they're on their way. They're going in the right direction.
Yeah.
They're going to find them. The park controller, like park ranger controllers,
I
the
see.
cop controllers. That's why Jake is like, do what you have to do to make sure that she does not come, that Aftran does not
Right.
come into contact with anyone, regardless of who
Those
they're
were
inside.
stakes I had.
There's
I
a
had.
cool line.
I
go ahead.
I feel like I lost at this chapter. I feel like they should almost hear the controllers closing in from a distance, because I feel like I lost the stakes that they were about to.
They're not quite that close, I think.
They're not quite
but-
there.
I know, but I
Yeah.
feel like the book could have maybe used that in that moment for Rachel reaching that moment, because I feel like those stakes were lost for me a little bit, that they are worried. They're not just having this like interpersonal conflict with the Yeerk, basically. They're also worried still about Karen escaping. But I feel like I had kind of had like a
That's funny.
plot magic
yeah,
happen.
that they're
where-
on such a time limit. Like, they're worried
I
that Karen
can
will
see that,
escape,
but-
but that if any other year gets here,
Yeah.
she can tell them everything she knows.
Yeah, I think the way that that's actually carried is by the stakes with which Jake is making the decision to not let her go.
Yeah.
Like, where he's giving the instruction to Marco, like, just stop her or whatever you have to do. Like, I feel like that's what reinforced the stakes for me. And he says something really cool. Like, he narrates something very intense. He was like, I felt sick inside. It was right that I make the decision, and it was probably the right decision to make. But oh man, I felt like I'd swallowed broken glass.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, just really
He-
intense.
No, he was
He could
fully
sing that?
prepared for them dying. Oh, you think it's another Mars Volta line?
Well, I
Or
just
do you
wonder
think that wants to go
for
in the musical?
Yeah, I wonder. Like,
I think he could sing it, yeah. I don't know why I'm just...
Swallowed all this broken glass. Don't know how much time has passed. All I know, she is a caterpillar, and she'll never morph back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's a great chapter. And yeah, it's grisly. I think I think the fragileness that everyone is feeling in this feels particularly palpable, even more so than I think in other books where maybe all hope had been lost. But like, you know, when you're passing out and Eric King is, you know, burninating the countryside, like it's hard to feel it the same way when like everybody's like, oh my God, what's happening right now? Like the intensity of this chapter was very palpable for me.
I have a total aside question that's coming to mind because Santiago and I are still watching Attack on Titan. Are Yeerks, like when they get into human morph or human form or Hork-Bajir, are they kind of just using flesh mechs? Are they turning their...
Yeah.
Well, Miranda, before you answer, Eddie, if you ever have a question like this that you want answered, you can just leave a 5-star review.
Oh, yeah.
That's
and then
true.
we'll have to read it on air.
But
or you can send an email to AnidorksPod@gmail.com, or you can join the Patreon and join the Discord, and we could discuss it there. I feel like that would be the appropriate place to discuss. I'm sure. No, I'm just kidding.
So Karen,
I have had the thought flesh mechs before.
Yeah. I think we've made that joke before.
But I probably didn't get it because I hadn't.
But
seen
now
Attack
you're
on
watching
Titan,
Attack on Titan. There aren't even mechs in Attack on Titan. Not really.
And that's why I say this is the perfect thing to bring up on the Discord.
Yeah.
I'm just.
And that's why my pitch for Evangelion is always: have you ever wanted to go back inside your mom? Sorry, that's a long. It takes a lot. It's hard to explain. Let's move on.
We don't have time. We'd have to start a whole
new podcast.
Well, you know, that would kind of work out because all the other Anidorks content I've seen that's not our Anidorks content is a podcast or a blog about anime. So we can actually transition right into anime from...
It's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
It is. It's true.
God, an Animorphs anime would go so fucking hard.
Yeah.
Chapter 25, are we doing it?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Chapter 25. We made a strange little group there at the edge of the meadow, Jake narrates. An Andalite, an elephant, a gorilla, a hawk, and me. I was human again. In the middle of the circle we formed was Karen. Or Aftran, depending on how you wanted to look at it. Karen asks what Jake is going to do with her. Jake admits that he still doesn't know. Rachel says that she is hoping Marco just saved Aftran so that Rachel could have her revenge. But Jake says that he wants to hear about this deal between Aftran and Cassie. Karen answers, if she would suffer the same fate that awaits me, a life without sight, without pleasure, without freedom, then I would do what she has asked me to do. Aftran will leave this little girl and never take a host again. She will make what small peace she can. But why, Jake asks. Why would Aftran do this? Karen answers, we are not all like Visser 3. Some of us are just little Yeerks, unimportant nobodies who are caught in this war. Some of us also want peace. Some of us want to find a better way. But how can we give up everything and leave the universe to, she jerked her head toward X, to them? They'll never feel anything but hatred and contempt for us. Cassie did not hate. Rachel is furious. She wants Jake to stop listening to this Yeerk. What Cassie had done was insane, he thinks, but it wasn't wrong. Regardless, did Jake want to undo her sacrifice after she had already made it? Did he want to destroy all of the meaning behind her act? Jake says that he will not give any orders. Each of them has to decide right now what they're going to do for themselves. He walks over to the Cassie pillar and its newly formed chrysalis and picks up the leaf from which she hangs. He carries it into the woods, followed by Tobias, and then Axe, and then Marco. Finally, Rachel follows, fighting back tears. She says, Cassie was my best friend. I'm not going to be the one to call her a fool. I'll carry her. I'll keep her safe.
Also, anybody got some hand sanitizer? I just ripped Karen to shreds.
Yeah, she's fucking dead, actually.
She's like, we don't have to deal with that anymore.
Yeah.
You know what? We do get some closure on this, but if they didn't touch on that, I might wonder, what did happen to Rachel could easily interpret that like, oh, everyone's going to just leave me here with...
You're just going to turn your backs? Okay.
Yeah, I know, yeah. It really,
when I morph
really
back, the blood will be gone. It's fine. Nobody has to know.
Still, the hand sanitizer, though, it just feels weird without it.
There's a really good, there's two things I want to hit, and it's Jake gets a line that is, he's like, I didn't even know I was speaking out loud. And I'm like, that's silly. Yes, you did. But he's like, I guess sometimes you have to choose between smart, sane ruthlessness and totally stupid, insane hope. You can't just pick one and stick with it either. Each time it comes up, you have to try to make your best decision. Most of the time, I guess I have to go with being smart and sane. But I don't want to live in a world where people don't try the stupid, crazy, hopeful things sometimes. And this loops back to that you better hope there are still Cassies in the world thing, where he's like, I want to believe that Cassie making this hopeful decision was the right choice. And the only way to do that is to make the hopeful, crazy decision with her. And hope that it turns out well. And I think that's really nice.
When the leopard dove down on Karen, that was the fear that filled me, was like, oh man, if they just let her die, then it's like Cassie really did do it all for nothing, though.
Yeah, and
it would have been devastating.
Jake even says, he's like, I almost wanted the leopard to do my dirty work for me, which also mirrors a thought that Cassie had the first time the leopard jumped on Karen, and she was like, am I going to save?
Son.
Yeah, like father, like son.
Like son.
Yeah, am I going to save this year? Because that's actually what I'm going to do. And the fact that it was Marco who made the decision to save the year, I feel like just reinforces the idea when we talked about, if Rachel or Marco were in this situation, it's all fine and good that they think they would have just fucking killed Karen on sight or whatever. But, Marco clearly wasn't okay with that. Yeah. As much as he tried to say to Cassie that that's what they should be doing, when he saw a little girl in danger, and especially a little girl that he knew Cassie had felt like she had made a connection with the Yeerk inside, that even if it was tenuous, he was like, nope, not letting that happen, not doing it. Right.
Yeah.
Getting to know your inner Yeerk.
Yes, that's what you call it. That's the seminar you keep inviting me and Miranda to, Chris.
That's true.
And just for $100, you'll have the best hour of your life with my Yeerk giving the most wonderful talk. And you get your own little Yeerk mantra at the end.
Oh!
And you get graduated Yeerk butt earplugs to help make your Yeerk holes big enough for Yeerks.
Oh, awful. Hate that.
This is why every time we see you in person, you're always you're acting like you can't quite hear us, so we have to move our ear closer and closer so that your Yeerk can parkour
Chris, you don't
talk out of your ears. Why are you trying to put your ear by my ear?
I hear you better when you put your ear against mine.
All the better to ear you get.
I also feel like in this chapter, we get a little glimpse into the fact that Aftran made peace with Cassie. And that's it. But Cassie did influence a little bit Aftran's view of the human race. Did not make any changes on Andalites. but I think that speaks to how I think that speaks to how personal the connection between Aftran and Cassie really was. Because Cassie was able to get Aftran to believe in Cassie. And Cassie is a human. And sure, it'd be great if Aftran could then extrapolate, okay, well, maybe that means that some Andalites aren't bad. But, really, the key thing here is, the social connection, the true, actual, relationship that these two built is what caused this deal to be possible. And Cassie put in the work all book to make it happen, and it worked.
I also just really think it's no small thing that we're getting kind of the communication of this idea of not all Yeerks are for this war kind of thing. That is this book is the first time where that's happened, and that almost died with Cassie until this exact moment. So the fact that there's for the first time, I guess maybe that one who was in love with Durain.
But that was just personal politicking again. That was I'm mad at Visser 3.
It wasn't like this.
Yeah.
It wasn't like this.
Well, so I want to, what do we think the victory, I mean, I guess even calling it a victory is probably unhelpful, but what is Cassie proving here? Is she proving something to herself? Is she proving something to Yeerks? Is she proving something to the other Animorphs? Because I kind of feel like she is proving something to the other Animorphs, because kind of like what you were saying before, Chris, I feel like the Animorphs are forced to accept, if they want Cassie to have done this for something, they're also forced to sort of accept her gamble.
But Yeah, I hear what you're saying, and I think you're right. Like, in a broader sense, I think that is the move that she's making. I don't really get the impression from Cassie directly that it was like, yeah, I think she was just in the moment of it and kind of trusting each step as she went. So I don't know that there is like, you know, she, like, imagining her in her final moments, like, she was actually just like, accepting the only thing she can do in this situation is trust it.
Yeah. I do think if she was trying to prove something to anyone, it maybe was herself. Because I think she was sort of, I don't know, I got this feeling that she was saying, if this doesn't work, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this was her Hail Mary to give her hope again that there was something worth fighting for
I
in
still
the
get
world.
the impression, though, that she's not, it's not like basically she's like, oh, she thinks I'll die as a caterpillar. I'll die as a butterfly if I'm lucky. It's there's no real end game. Like, she's just like, I could die as a butterfly.
But in accepting that death and not fighting back against it, I feel like instead of doing the vicious thing and doing that, she was saying, I want to live in a world where doing the non-vicious thing is the right choice.
Yeah.
And if that means I die, that means I die.
I feel like the fact that the book, I don't want to like, so I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but the fact that Cassie goes through like a literal transformation, and it seems like that is supposed to have some like evocative or like, you know, like, I feel like we're also being asked to think that that's had some level of transformative power for Cassie in her everyday life, right? Like, I feel like, and especially when we're seeing her kind of depressed at the beginning and she's kind of shutting down, I feel like, I think that lends itself to the argument that she is proving something to herself.
Yeah, based on what we're going to see from her.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I also think like, I definitely think that's like for her lived experience, it's insanely bleak. Like, it's like the book's hopefulness, like in the transformation and the caterpillar. It's like we're about to plot our way through this thing. You'll all see, but it's pretty like, I don't know. Cassie died. Like, she actually just straight up died.
Yeah, we kind of just got a few, like, they're in the shock of grief, but I feel like there is a moment where they're like, yeah, we just lost Cassie. Is kind of what we're experiencing there. So,
and they live in that for like 3 weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
3 days.
3 days.
3 days?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Caterpillars take a while.
Not Cassie,
they
she's
said
in a
it's
stream.
because she's a it's because she's a fast morpher.
Yeah.
That's so stupid. All right, let's do it.
Yeah,
All right,
so we're
chapter 26 through 28. We're going to run through the end here and then we'll talk about it. We return to Cassie's perspective, which is not that interesting because she's just a bug. For a long time, she says, I was gone, unconscious. She tells us that she was changing, but she didn't know she was changing. Then slowly, she becomes aware. She wakes up as a butterfly. Had I cheated Aftran the Yeerk, Cassie wonders? Had Karen known that caterpillars turn into butterflies? Maybe not. In which case, Aftran would not have known either. I could almost have been happy, but now, awake again, alert, aware, all my human memories came rushing back. How long had I been this way? What awful agony would my parents have endured? Cassie decides that she is what she is, a butterfly. She'll live a short life in the world of flowers.
We return to Jake's perspective. He's in science class at school when Tobias goes flying past the window. Tobias thought speaks to Jake that Cassie has emerged from her chrysalis. He and the others flee from school to go see Butterfly Cassie in the flower garden behind the barn. It was supposed to take a few weeks for Cassie to emerge, Jake says. Tobias points out that Cassie has always been the fastest morpher. Jake is disturbed by the fact that Rachel is crying until he realizes that he is crying too. Only Axe seems to be confused. Why is Cassie different, he wonders. That's not the form in which she had become trapped. Once the gang has explained what happened, he wonders why no one told him sooner. If Cassie just completed a naturally occurring morph cycle, she should demorph. Unless, of course, Cassie prefers being a butterfly. The gang clarifies what Axe is saying. Cassie can remorph. Yes? Axe says yes, at least for the next 2 hours. Jake screams, "Get that butterfly!"
We return to Cassie's perspective. She tells us that she had to lie to everyone about what happened to her, claiming that she had become lost in the woods for 3 days. She becomes a local celebrity, appearing on the news and in the newspaper. Then her life goes back to normal. She wonders every day if the Yeerks will take her, if she'll be attacked at school. But that never happens. Then one day, her dad comes home from work and says that the vet clinic has been saved. Hurrah! They've obtained a new source of funding. The president of Unibank called and said that his daughter requested that he give Cassie's parents whatever they needed to keep the clinic open. Then one day, Cassie is at the mall with Rachel, shopping for clothes. Cassie sees Karen off to the side of the store with her mother. Cassie approaches Karen, the real Karen, and the little girl tells Cassie that Aftran kept her promise. She is free. Cassie gives Karen a hug. Karen tells Cassie that Aftran would be happy that Cassie escaped her caterpillar morph. Aftran did try to stop Cassie at the end from permanently staying in the morph. As Cassie watches Karen leave with her mother, she realizes that the little girl is similar to her and the other Animorphs, a little kid carrying a big secret, her mind filled with things that no kid should have to know. Cassie realizes that she is still an Animorph after all. It meant I would have to fight sometimes, Cassie says, but being an Animorph might also let me find other small victories for peace. Amid all the conflict and fear and rage, I could still look for the enemy who might become a friend. It wasn't a perfect answer, but it was the best I could do.
Oh.
Very sweet, very sweet. There's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
There's a lot to talk about. So is this, I was thinking about, the Unibank president calls and is like, I'll do whatever it takes to make my little Karen happy. And is this the birth of a Karen? Is this spoiling what really did it?
I think we're seeing like early stage Karen realization.
She basically called the manager of all managers. Yeah, she called him.
Yeah. She was like, no, you'll get what you want. Just wait till I get my dad on the phone. Do you know who I am? It was big deal.
Thank God when this Unibanker delivers a package of undisclosed monetary. I don't know. I'm trying to make a joke about him dropping a bomb.
Wait until we get the manifesto. Okay, yeah.
Exactly. Well, I read it and I thought. I think the real hero of this book is the president of Unibank. Isn't that what you two walked?
It might be.
That's how I felt about it, and I felt like that must have been who Cassie was trying to prove something to.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
She was trying to prove that the wildlife clinic was worth saving.
Yes.
And when she was turning into a caterpillar, she's like, "I'm doing this for you, president of Unibank."
Yeah.
There's a couple things in here that bear some scrutiny, or could use some scrutiny, but actually they don't stand up to it, so it doesn't really matter that much. And that's like in Hork-Bajir Chronicles, which was 30 years ago, maybe.
Okay. I see your point. Keep going. 20, 25,
it was
30,
brand new. Morphing was brand new technology. How do we possibly have enough data about morphing to know that if a quote unquote naturally occurring morph happens in your creature, that resets the clock? But also, this is nothing like storing mass in Z space and swapping it out. This is like a completely different thing. It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Unless that's how caterpillars work.
Maybe that's how caterpillars work, and we just didn't know that. Maybe we just didn't know that.
Eddie raises a really fantastic point I had not considered.
Yeah, I really didn't consider that.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Caterpillars are like the chi for Andalite.
Yeah, it's perfect. But I was thinking, so I got back to thinking, I was thinking about book 6 and Jake having a Yeerk in his brain and all that fun stuff. And I was like, morphing while you're a Yeerk. We've talked about the Yeerk has to go with, right? The Yeerk has to go with. Here's the problem. Where the fuck is their consciousness coming from? There has to be a direct link to their consciousness that is not coming from their physical brain on this plane, because their physical brain is in Z space. So I don't know if the Yeerk does have to go with. The Yeerk might be able to go with the main brain of the creature and still have a psychic link from Z space?
Probably.
Perhaps.
Yeah. It's probably, we're definitely overthinking it.
Okay, that's fine.
I just mean how do you
We're going to solve this in a Megamorphs book. I just know it.
It's gonna come up. We're going to figure it out.
Just give it a couple more books and we'll finally have it figured out. We should figure out a way to run tests on the books. Like,
I'm sorry.
I'll put one book.
KA will solve this in a Megamorphs book because we're talking about it right now.
Because we're talking about it.
That's what the Megamorphs books are. They weren't there in the original timeline.
They're direct
That's the thing,
responses.
that's my favorite thing about authors is they're always listening.
Yes.
And they're always just...
And time traveling.
and time traveling.
That's what they're known for.
It's actually incredible to me that people think of authors writing books because it's actually their least impressive quality. It's the time travel and
the amount of work
listening.
that has to go into it. The wiretapping. I mean,
the thousands of dollars in private detective fees. I have to say, your summary was lovely, Eddie, and it really drove home the emotionality of this. And also, the last scene of this totally takes place at the mall.
It does.
And does pivot into Cassie embracing a shopping
No,
montage.
No, I left it out.
I noticed, and I really, my God, I love this last line
It's so good.
much.
Yeah.
We can save it. Why don't we save it for the end of the episode and someone can read it as the boop
Well,
boops
that's
come in.
fun. That's fine with me, but I do want to say, because we're going on a shopping spree, I just have to ask, she does use the phrase "whip out your credit card, girl," as though Rachel is going to pay for the shopping spree.
We're adding some color.
Do we think Naomi or Dan pays for that credit card?
Oh, Dan.
Oh, Rachel stole the credit card. On her way out the door. This is not the first time she's done that.
But I think it's Dan because he's the emotion. He's the absent parent, and this is
Dan
how he
said,
writes his
only
love.
use this in emergencies.
But then he always
exactly.
pays the bill. He is like, is this
always
for
pays the
emergencies?
bill.
But he always pays the
Also,
bill.
when did Cassie start? Is this part of the transformation that she says "girl"? I have never.
Yeah,
heard
no,
of
I think it is. Well, she's getting into fashion because she loves color now, and I think
she loves color
with
because she was a butterfly. That's
because it was briefly taken from her.
yeah.
Because it was
How
briefly
nice
taken from her.
was that resonance off of the Yeerk too? It's it
Right?
was cute that they managed to layer that on as well, where it's we have this nice parallel between Jake and Cassie, but then we also have this moment where Cassie's re-emergence as the butterfly also mirrors the Yeerk scene for the first
There was no way to summarize it, and I actually feel like it took some of the summarizing that Cassie's end state here is that she goes on a shopping spree really felt like it kind of undermined.
She wants to dress like a butterfly from now on. It's the only way she'll be seen.
Okay, I also because we got right into analyzing this. I cried. Even when I was writing the summary of this book,
I cried multiple times.
Writing when Rachel started crying. I cried. When Jake started crying, I cried. I was. It was old.
That's weak of you. Sorry.
Yeah, and Miranda's going to replace us because we've just revealed ourselves as the
Miranda read
podcasters.
the Cassie book and said crying is weak.
Crying is for weak people. I said as I sniffled into my tissues. I have allergies.
We get it, Miranda. You don't know how to cry. It's
true.
fine.
I never
Jesus
learned.
Christ. I
tried to learn how to cry on demand, stopped being able to cry at all.
Mm-hmm.
Why are the Yeerks not simply going to re-Yeerk Karen if they found out her Yeerk went missing?
Right. Yeah, the only thing I can really say to that is, I guess maybe the two best case scenarios I have are somehow Karen is keeping up the briefings all by herself, or Aftran somehow convinced the higher ups that this plan wasn't working out. And also because she just got found in the forest and stuff, maybe she was it's too high profile, there's too much heat, they're paying too much attention. She's young, she's stupid, she's not gonna know what was good. She's just gonna be magic things happened, and then it'll be fine. We can just un-Yeerk her and leave her alone.
Yeah.
That's my generous hope.
I think if I were an additional Animorph, I might have suggested, now, and I know this is a lot for a children's book, whisking Karen away to the Hork-Bajir sanctuary and letting her be raised there, because I think it's actually still incredibly dangerous that Karen's loose, but I know that would probably be a terrible thing to inflict on this child that the books would
I don't know that there's any food for her there.
Bark!
I don't know that there's really anywhere for her to sleep safely. I don't know that there's any human grade shelter. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like Starter Survivor.
We love it.
Yeah, it's probably true.
They the Hork-Bajir really are the machetes, so you got that built in.
Yeah.
And this just to hit it again, like, we're about to do our analysis episode coming out after this one, and we have a guest for that, which is exciting.
True.
You'll all
Very
hear.
exciting.
But this book was just this was it. Every other book sucks. Specifically, no, not the Animorphs. Ed. Come on, have an imagination. Like
Every book
like
but
the
Animorphs
Sound and the
sucks.
Fury sucks, and
All Quiet on the Western Front
sucks, and this book rules. This book totally owns, and was sad, and
But
frankly,
hopeful.
I would recommend this as the place to start. I don't think that's true. But if you read two of the books and you're like, I want to give up, skip to this book.
Yeah, as long as you know the basics, I think you can read this book and have it be good. Like, it would be hard to jump in with absolutely no knowledge, but I don't think you need that much knowledge.
Well, maybe we should do a webinar called "So You Want to Read Book 19."
Yeah.
Hey, do you guys know that we're doing a book after this one?
Yeah.
Do you guys want to play Guess the Role
no.
with the chat line?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because
Okay.
I got 3.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to give you guys a hint because usually going into this, don't
What's
look
the
it
name
up.
of the
Okay?
book?
Don't look it up. Yeah. I'm going to give you guys 2 pieces of information.
Okay.
3, actually. I'm going to give you the name of the book, the morph of the cover, and I think it's Marco. I'll give you that as well. And it's a purple to green through blue background. Don't
Should
look
be a Marco
dumb.
book. That
so
should
here
be
we go.
there.
You ready? Mm-hmm. Okay, so remember, it's a snake on the cover. That's critical.
What kind of snake? Do we know?
It's a cobra.
Okay.
Oh.
So here are your 3,
I've seen that
right?
cover.
Sometimes you have to shed your skin.
You fucked it up.
I
It's
lost
not
my
that
nerve.
one.
No. I just like
I don't think it's that one, I'll be honest. I know.
All right.
Sometimes you have to shed
Number
more
2.
than your skin.
Number 2, get ready. There's a brand new Animorph. Number 3, snake covers Yeerk.
Oh, well, that's confusing because I was so sure it wasn't the second one. And snake covers Yeerk?
Oh, no, I think it's 2.
I kind of
Just
think
based
it's-
on where we're going. But that's metagaming.
Oh. Well, that's...
But given that they lost their nerve, maybe it is sometimes you have to shed
All right,
your
I'm going to
skin.
give you guys 10 more seconds.
Okay, I'm going to
I'm
go
thinking
with
two.
in your...
For the first time, I think we're locked in on an answer. I think it's...
It was 2.
Yeah.
It was 2. Yeah.
It was so ridiculous you couldn't say it.
Yeah, I literally looked at it and I was
Now,
like, that
Chris,
is
if you
insane.
had said sometimes you have to shed more than your skin and then ellipses, I would have been like, oh, it's
Then I might have gone for it, yeah.
dot, I would have gone with 1.
The ellipses was implied.
Okay.
And no, you wouldn't have picked it no matter what. I don't think you would have. I think you would have rightfully
I
guessed.
actually think this
Get
is...
ready, there's a new animal.
I actually think this is my first time guessing correctly ever in this game. I have gotten it wrong.
I have no idea. I think I've gotten it right, but I know I've gotten it wrong too.
Wait, does that mean
I'm
so
excited to read it.
David is our new Animorph, you think? Yeah?
I don't know.
Oh my God, spoilers.
What
Just get out of town.
I'm sorry.
You don't know that. Who have you been talking to?
They're just studying Michelangelo in art class. That's who the
stop
David is.
Spreading blasphemous lies and read the last paragraph in your best Cassie impression right now.
Read it.
Oh, me?
Read it.
Okay.
Okay, so do you want the green or the red?
The green or the red?
Yeah. Answer
But
me.
that's your cue line.
Red?
No, Eddie. Read
you don't
the
have it in front of you,
paragraph.
do you?
Oh,
Do you have the book up?
yeah.
Read the last paragraph of the book. Do you want
After
the
Miranda
green
says
or the
this.
red?
I thought of Aftran.
Green or red?
I thought, okay.
No, just read the last paragraph.
And delight.
I don't understand. I thought of Aftran the enemy.
No.
The
Read the
last
stuff in quotes.
paragraph.
The stuff in quotes.
What? Oh, both Rachel?
Miranda's asking you as
Feels
Rachel.
like Miranda has
Take
a
it
gun
again.
to my head, shouting the green or the red.
I do.
Green, the blood of angry Yeerks.
All right, green or red? Cassie.
It's so scary. Both Rachel and I like the blue and the yellow and that gross color there and the stripes. We live in paradise, Rachel, and we don't even know it. And we don't know it when it might end. We don't know when it might end. We'd have to be fools not to enjoy it while we can. So whip out your credit card, girl. We're adding some color.
Yeah, I didn't hear it when I read it so emotionally strained, like as though someone were holding a gun to her head, but I think it really lends something
it really
to
fits
it.
The character.
Especially when she says, we don't know when it might end.
I don't know when Rachel might shoot me.
It just also, it's just you saying over and over again, greener red, greener red. So, and I didn't have the camera up. I just had someone screaming in my head. So.
Thanks for listening to Anidorks. We'll be back soon with lots more to say. Until the Andalites return, or at least until next time. See you soon!